From going off script with Season 4 to possibly suffering the same fate as Game of Thrones, fans are worried about Season 4 of Umbrella Academy. So let's address the elephant in the room to start things off. Netflix just revealed that the already huge cast's gonna be getting even bigger. They added 3 new major actors, and I'm not sure how to feel about them. Megan Mullally, David Cross, and Nick Offerman have just signed on for the Umbrella Academy. Offerman and Mullally will portray community college teachers and husband and wife Drs. Jean and Jean Thibodeau. And Cross will play Cy Grossman, a quiet businessman who longs to be reunited with his missing daughter. So what's the big deal then? Let me start by saying that I don't have anything against this wonderful group. He had amazing performances in The Last of Us, Parks and Recreation, Devs, and many more productions. And they're proof that Offerman's a wonderful choice for one of the best Netflix shows out there. Mullally, a Parks and Recreation co-star with Offerman, is fantastic in Bob's Burgers and Will and Grace, and Cross is a perfect choice for the role despite some controversy surrounding him. But hey, whatever it is they're deciding to do, at least fans are lucky they even got to see a 4th season, with Netflix canceling so many of its best shows. But the final season of the Umbrella Academy looks like it's going to be a bit disappointing. The release date hasn't been revealed, though the showrunners told fans an important bit of info, and it turns out that Season 4 is going to be changing things up a bit. It's only going to have 6 episodes. If that still seems like a lot to you, consider this. Previously, fans got a whole 10 episodes every season. That's 4 more episodes I got to see of the dysfunctional but lovable Hargreaves. They're literally robbing us at this point. Even though Season 3 ended with the biggest cliffhanger ever, all of them lost their powers, they altered the timeline so badly that they were in a completely new reality, and their dad was back. But he seemed evil this time around, so that's exactly why fans need more than 6 episodes. I actually thought for the final season they might have more than 10 this time around, because there's no way all the loose ends are going to be neatly tied up by the time the end credits roll. There are 10 different characters, each with such a complex story and background. They can't be all resolved without it seeming like everything's rushed. You have Diego, Maya, Luther, Five, Klaus, Ben, Victor, Allison, Sloane, and Reginald Hargreaves. So yeah, a lot of story arcs. Now, I know what you're thinking. 6 episodes? That's it? How are they going to cram everything into such a short season? But hold up, let's not jump to conclusions just yet. First off, let's remember that quality's always better than quantity. I mean, would you rather have a bunch of mediocre episodes or a handful of fantastic ones? Personally, I'm all about the latter. And let's not forget that the Umbrella Academy's never been a show to drag things out unnecessarily. They always manage to pack a punch in each episode. Plus, a shorter season could mean that the show's creators are focusing on the most important parts of the story. They could be cutting out any filler episodes or subplots that don't really add anything to the overall narrative. And honestly, if it means fans get more time with their favorite characters, I'm here for it. Of course, it's natural to be a little disappointed that fans won't be getting as much content as they're used to. But hey, 6 episodes are still 6 episodes! That's 6 more hours spent in the weird and wonderful world of the Umbrella Academy. And I, for one, am excited to see what kind of shenanigans the Hargreaves siblings get up to this time around. Even the showrunner, Steve Blackman, said that he only wanted 4 seasons from the start. So don't worry, it looks like they know what they're doing. But the main issue here is something else, and it's one that has happened before too, and is called the Game of Thrones problem. That's right, there's a whole history behind it. Game of Thrones was the biggest show ever made, and its fan base was insanely huge. But its last season was one that broke the fandom in half. It was highly controversial, and it sounds exactly like what the Umbrella Academy is about to go through. They rushed it, underdeveloped our favorite characters, storylines made no sense, and the finale was just pure garbage. And the reason for this? It was because George R.R. Martin actually hadn't gotten around to writing the last 2 books of his. So the HBO creators thought they could replicate what he did and created a season finale by themselves. This is the same problem the Umbrella Academy now has. The original graphic novel has been written right up until season 3. After that, the showrunners are going to start freestyling it. Of course, this isn't the first time Blackman and crew have given Wei and Ba's works a fresh new spin. The second season of the Umbrella Academy introduced characters and plot lines that weren't in the graphic books, such as Lila Pitts and Harlan Cooper, as well as Vanya's romance with Sissy Cooper. The Sparrow Academy, which was hinted at in the last panels of Volume 3, was introduced in the Umbrella Academy Season 3. The Sparrow Academy's television adaptation was obviously different from the comics, and that's because they didn't even exist in the comics yet. That's exactly why fans have been worried about Season 4. Season 3 was rated the weakest one of the entire show. It just seemed too loosely connected, and that's because it wasn't what the original creators had in mind. Two different visions just can't be passed off as the same. Seasons 1 and 2 were just so good because they stuck to what they were supposed to be. The concern in relation to the Thibodeaus is another issue. According to Netflix's press release, some professors who are experiencing serious deja vu appear to have previously come into contact with the Hargreaves family. The plot of Season 4 might be centered on the concept of a multiverse and branching timelines, and the Thibodeaus are probably scientists that specialize in theories around time travel. And if that's the case, I really hope they just scrap the whole thing right now, as if fans need another multiverse series. There have already been tons of MCU movies that have done that, and now every single movie, series, or video game coming out right now is hopping on the same trend. So if that's the most original they can be, they should leave the content to Wei and Ba, though this doesn't mean fans want the series to fail. In fact, nothing would make me happier than for it to achieve its full potential. Yet, as things are, I'm not quite confident that Season 4 will meet anyone's standards. I adore the graphic novel series, so I want to see these characters take a break and, for once, truly save the planet. After the horrific familial experiences they've had, I want them to reconcile with one another, and I want their overall journey to come to an emotionally fulfilling climax. Yet I have a sneaking suspicion that I'll be let down. I hope I'm wrong, but given recent character revelations and the possibility of tired plot lines being recycled, I'm concerned that the Umbrella Academy Season 4 might end up emulating Game of Thrones, which would be a shame. Well, that's all for why fans are worried about the cast of Umbrella Academy Season 4.
Well, it is when you know what your brothers do into their socks.